welcome to Inside South Florida. I'm Dave Azer. On today's show, the foodie physician tells us what to eat to stay out of the doctor's office. Welcome back to Inside South Florida. Sonali Reuter is an ER physician and a trained chef and cookbook author. Let's hear from the foodie physician on how to eat healthy and stay out of the doctor's office. Dr. Reuter, not only is it great to see you, but it's great to see all of this. Thanks for bringing a feast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
And this is your feast that you whipped up.
I made this just for you. I prepared all of this last night.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's for you to break into when we're done.
Well, listen, the crew, just for me, not for anyone, just we'll share. We'll share. All right, so how does this happen? How does an ER doc become a cookbook author and a master chef? How?
Well, it's been many years in the making. I actually developed a passion for cooking after I finished medical school. I was a doctor. I'd moved back to New York City to do my training in emergency medicine, and I just fell in love with cooking. And I started watching a ton of cooking shows on TV. And one day, completely on a whim, I entered a cooking competition on TV, and I ended up being selected from thousands of entrants. And they flew me to LA, and I competed on the cooking show. And I was just hooked after that.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so I didn't stop cooking after that, and eventually I followed my passion, and I ended up going to culinary school in New York City. So for a year, I worked in the ER during the day as a doctor, and at night I went to culinary school.
That's so great, and I think what's interesting about these two fields is that you probably know better than anyone, you know, eating the right foods probably helps your health. Definitely helps your health.
Yeah, of course, and you know, that's really where my background as an ER doctor kind of comes into this. I actually started my blog, The Foodie Physician, many years ago when I was a culinary student. And I started it because in the ER I treat patients every day with chronic diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease. And after a while I kind of got tired of just writing a prescription. And I started becoming interested in how we can prevent these diseases before they even start. So, you know, I started cooking and I started researching and I came up with my blog, and that's basically my goal with the Foodie Physician and everything I do, is to show people that we have the power to control our health, and it starts in the kitchen.
Do you give patients advice when they're in the ER about
do.
What to eat and stuff?
I do. I think I probably give a lot more advice about what to eat than a lot of my colleagues because that's my interest. But yeah, every day I actually have a couple of cookbooks out. One of them is a pregnancy cookbook, and we see pregnant women every day in the ER who are throwing up, nauseated, can't keep anything down. So I give them a lot of advice. We see a lot of kids in the ER too, and I have a baby food cookbook that's out, so I give a lot of advice to parents. And yeah, I probably do a lot more cooking advice than other doctors
That's great.
do.
And we're about to give the website address so people can get those books. Before we do that, let's talk about what you made for us today.
Yes, okay. So one of the questions that parents often ask me is do I get my kids to eat healthy food? So one of my tips is to introduce new foods in dishes that the kids are familiar with and kids like. So here we have quesadillas, burgers, and meatballs. Who doesn't love those foods? So
yes, and yes.
Right. So, okay, so these are my sweet potato and kale quesadillas. This is a great vegetarian dish. Sweet potatoes, kale, nutritional powerhouses, black beans for some extra protein and fiber. These are my brain-boosting salmon burgers. Burgers are a great way to introduce your kids to fish. Fish full of omega-3 fatty acids, which have a multitude of health benefits. Those are my turkey Florentine meatballs, and those are from my baby food cookbook, actually. Turkey meatballs baked in the oven instead of fried, so they're healthier, and spinach in them. And I just use regular frozen chopped spinach from the grocery store, so very easy.
I don't want to say goodbye, but I do want to eat all the food, so we have to do that.
Okay.
So before we do say goodbye, how can people read more about you, get your cookbooks?
So I have a website, thefoodiephysician.com, so please come check me out. All of the information is on my website, links to my cookbooks, which are on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, anywhere books are sold, basically. And I have a lot of interesting stuff on the website, health and wellness links, and even a new link on cooking with your kids. So for people who are interested in getting their kids in the kitchen with them, I have lots of great recipes.
Oh, that's fun. So nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All
You
right.
too.
Come
Thank
back.
you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.